In your capacity now as the Assistant Resident Pastor Administration, RCN Embassy, you seem to have noted some administrative matters in the movie, like visitation and when church members lose dear ones. I'd like you to also make more comments on that, the administrative lessons that you picked from the movie.
Yeah, I think by God's grace, a lot has been done in that regard. Okay. Even before now, I know that we do condolences, like the recent things that happen around. I see how different sets of people in the ministry go to pay condolence visits. Okay. So it's something that has been on ground. But personally, when a ministry begins to grow, like God is lifting this ministry, you will have to have maybe a department that is devoted to this kind of function.
Okay.
Because sometimes, like our Father in the Lord, you will not see him on ground for some visitations.
Yes.
But it's somebody whose heart goes out for everybody. So, of course, even if he's not there, he will call the people he needs to call, and he will delegate responsibility for people that are key in the ministry that must visit such families.
Okay.
So I want to say, in my little capacity, following the instruction I received from my resident pastor, we have people at heart. There are lots of packages that will be unveiled very soon that has plan for welfare for the people in the ministry. So I think that's already something that is playing out, but we are going to shift it to a higher level, because sometimes you may assume that people are... I used to hear a minister of God preach many years ago. He will say from the pulpit, I was the youth pastor of the church. I don't used to like that statement. He will say from the pulpit that nobody led him to Christ, and nobody has ever encouraged him. And as a pastor, when you hear that, you will not really like it, especially if for you, pastor is not a title, it's a calling. You will realize that there are people in your team that you must always strengthen.
Yes.
Because we are not always operating at the same level. Some people, little things will make them have a breakdown. But your words of exaltation, that's why we need to identify people in the team that are gifted in exaltation.
Okay.
There are people that, even if your confidence is damaged, when they speak to you, you lift up again. So you will need to identify such people and bring them into the visitation team, so that once and again, when somebody, like me, whenever I'm in service, even this IC that the whole place was packed, I was still looking out for certain people.
Okay.
In short, when I went home the first 2 days, I was telling my wife that I didn't see you in the auditorium. You know, there are people you need to still look out for, because it's not just, it's a wiring. You know that this person should be here. This person should be here, and it's a concern. Sometimes, if we are not too busy, when you get back home like that, you pick up your phone, you send a message or you call, I didn't see you in fellowship today. Maybe the person, instead of assuming that, like that other minister, that he's not encouraged by anybody, he was never motivated, yes, by anybody. If you call such a person, maybe the person has a fever or something happened, and then you can now reach out. But if you assume that because you were not motivated by anybody, you won't motivate anybody, it's not a good pastoral practice. Okay. So I think in our little sphere, we'll do what we can to also carry people along, and it will go a long way to encourage many people.
Okay.